Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and radio. It is official. We are on several radio platforms, which I'll share with you a little bit later. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is What's Trending with CATHY Fulton. I'm so excited that CATHY and I are doing this show together. We get this beautiful background, and every week there's a different guest with a different story. CATHY is a co-host here at USA Global TV. She's also an expert on our Talking Heads platform. Her show follows immediately after this show, so you definitely want to catch that. She is a business owner and an entrepreneur. She has an incredible backstory, which I started telling, but I want to have her just share it because when it comes from her, it means so much. And she has a business that is 7 figures. That's right. It's possible. She's going to share some information about that as well. And she is an interior designer. Her work is at the highest level. You definitely want to reach out and contact her. Let's welcome her to the program, CATHY Fulton.
Good morning.
Hi, so nice to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you too.
And I'm really glad we're doing the show together. As I mentioned, every week it's something different. Each guest has their own unique story. We've got a wonderful guest that you brought with us today. But before we bring her out, CATHY, I want to spotlight you. And for people who are thinking about leaving their current situation, whether it's personal or it's professional, and they're stuck and they're thinking, what's on the other side for me if I take that leap of faith? You've done that. I've done that. Share a little bit about your backstory so that people can understand it is possible to have a new and exciting chapter in your life.
Well, so many years ago, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired in my situation. And I decided to leave a bad marriage. And on my way out, he just really made it very clear that I was never going to make it without him. And so for me, those were deep down fighting words. And I was bound and determined that I was going to make it. And, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, people that are not, typically for you in this world, a lot of times they really help catapult you into your destiny. And so I think that, so really now that I'm on the other side of everything that happened, I thank him for those things that he said to me. And so what I would say to those that are not happy in their current situation, I just think if you have this gut feeling that you were made for more, that you were meant for more, that, you're scared to take a leap of faith, but, you're just right on the cusp, I would say, pray really hard and then leap, because if I can do it, you can do it. You just need to surround yourself with positive people and get your ducks in a row and just go for it. That's my advice.
Thanks, CATHY. That's fantastic. So just find the power within, have a plan, and go out and do whatever it is that you're passionate about. This time of year that we're in now, it's April here, and this is coming up to wedding season, which is such an exciting time. It's promise and hope and inspiration. And we have a person backstage, CJ, who is an entrepreneur, and she is the founder of Christian Joy Bridal. And she's going to tell us about the experience for the client, for that new bride to be, and her family and her friends who are also excited, and also what her journey has been and why she's passionate about helping brides find the perfect gown and just have that wonderful experience that is really something that's memorable for your whole life.
Yeah, absolutely. CJ will always have a special place in my heart. I've known her since she was this big. And but as she got older, and I learned about her passion, which is to become a bridal gown designer, she would show me her drawings, and I can just remember thinking, oh my gosh, this girl's got something. I mean, she's smart, she's talented, she's beautiful. She's just the entire package. And I remember just, talking to her mom about, so what's CJ up to? And she would share with me that they love to watch this show, Say Yes to the Dress. And I just remember thinking, she's going to do this one day. She will. And, she's doing it. She's getting it done. And I just can't wait for her to tell her story. It's a great story.
Yes, I'm excited to bring her out. I love her website. It's very clean and it's easy to maneuver. And I love the designs that she's going to be sharing with us today. So let's bring CJ out. Welcome to the program.
Hi, CJ. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for the comments. Are making me tear up.
Hey, it's all true. It's all true.
Thank you. Thank you. I definitely would not be where I'm at without you. So thank you.
Well, so I think nice. It took a lot of internal fortitude, CJ. And really, I just remember you showing me your drawings, and really and truly just thinking, she has got true talent. And then when you went to Baylor and saw the sketches and how you were evolving, and I remember the dress that you made. I think we were even talking about it the other day, the one with the circles on it. Yes. I remember looking at that going, oh my gosh, I would wear that.
Thank you.
But I'm taking it away from you. So just tell us, when did you have that epiphany that this is what I want to do?
It's funny looking back, I think, just thinking on my childhood and when there was a moment of oh, this is what I'm going to do. I think it was just always, I don't know. I just remember growing up, and I think I was a flower girl 3 or 4 times. And, we argue nature versus nurture all day long, or if that's just the Lord guiding me all along. And I just remember always just being so infatuated with bride, and especially what that means to my faith too, and how important and special weddings are. I remember at our local Hobby Lobby growing up, they had a bridal section and they had this big wedding dress on the wall. Go with me to look at it and just stare at it. And I think my parents knew early on that it was just my bent. And I guess I would just draw and make dresses out of bed sheets and just random things. And my mom sews. And so that's kind of, it was easier to be exposed to that world. And then once I was deciding, college and major and all this stuff, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And looking back, it's so obvious, but at the time it's what am I going to do? And then I was I'll go to Baylor and major in apparel design. And it's just duh. So I don't know why it seems so hard in the moment, but.
Well, your mom, Kay, who is very dear to my heart as well. She's a great seamstress. And it seems like everybody in the family got that gene except me. All of my great grandmothers were phenomenal seamstress. My grandmother, my mom, fantastic seamstress. I can point and tell you, but I sewing a button on is painful. It's painful. So for you to have that, your mom to be able to kind of guide you and direct you along the way. And because what was the very first thing that you made? Wasn't it a little baby dress, or didn't you do some smocking or something like that?
It's funny. I actually found my American Girl dolls the other day upstairs when we were cleaning out the house. And I found one of my dolls in this makeshift old pillowcase dress. And I was that must have just been something I threw together, just left her in since. I don't know. I remember my mom made my homecoming dress one year, but I designed it. And I think that was my first collaboration.
Wow.
The first thing that I truly truly made like on my own, I'm proud of, was probably my freshman year in college. I think mom sent me to like a Joanne sewing class one summer and I made a purse, but I don't know if I can.
Okay. So I got the baby thing somewhere, who knows, but
it's always been there. It's been, it's even, I remember drawing and sketching like as a young girl, and I'm looking back on those, I'm like, oh, those are rough, but what are you going to do? You don't have the skills yet. So.
No, I know. Well, okay. So then along your journey, okay. So you go to Baylor, that's a success, and you get out, and then wasn't one of the first things, didn't you do an internship in New York?
So I interned.
Is that right?
Yes. Well,
do I have the timeline right?
Well, I interned in college. I interned between my junior and senior year, and then I had to complete an internship. We all did have to complete an internship after we'd completed our senior year and like senior collection big capstone project, if you will. So I interned twice and then walked in August. Like that was our normal trajectory. But I did intern I interned for Carol Hannah Bridal. If anyone's familiar with her, she is wonderful. That summer changed my life. First off, living in New York, knowing no one, that will change you. I think the Lord met me there. And that was a growing summer for sure. But just the things I learned in that internship, and I've just always known I want to do bridal, and I'm thankful for that because it really made finding internships easy. And I had a connection to this designer, and I spent my summer making veils and, helping with fittings and learning fabrics. And I just learned so much. And I would say that internship really shaped who I am, probably as a person and definitely a designer, and definitely what I do now with my business.
Yeah. CJ, a question I have for you is what you're doing and your business is such an integral part of one of the most important days of a person's life. And I just wonder, how do you manage those feelings that must come up over and over and over again when someone is wearing your design?
I mean, it's an honor. Just thinking about, I think maybe as a society, we've put a lot of pressure on brides and weddings, but again, just like going back to my faith, it's just weddings are just a really big deal. And just what I believe they are. And it's like, wow, this is cool. Women play a really cool part in this. Like we get to be the bride of Christ, whether you believe that or not, and play that part. And I'm like, wow, like just to be able to just be a part of that in a really unique way. It's an honor, and I see it as a gift from God, and I don't take that lightly.
Thank you for sharing that. We do have some photographs of your beautiful designs. If you'd like to walk us through them, that would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's take a look at the first one.
Yes. So this is one of my belts, JACALYN belt. I love this belt. I think it's really unique. I usually tell brides who have, a more simple dress, this would be just a great accessory to put over, whether that's just for the ceremony or just for reception, just kind of do something a little different. It clasps in the back, has kind of these like nude blushy sequins on there along with some pearls. So you kind of get that shimmer and shine along with the pearls as well. So it's just kind of different.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yes. So this is people really like this veil. I really like this veil too. Every piece of lace, there's two types of lace that are actually like come together on this veil to make this lace motif at the bottom. And it's all hand sewn. So it's a lot of man hours go into this veil, and it is a labor of love for sure. But I love this veil a lot.
It is absolutely stunning. I would lose my mind. I don't have that kind of patience. I mean, so I am in total awe when I see this.
That's magnificent. How long does it actually take to make one of these?
I think I calculated it one time, and it's over 20 hours. But it's so therapeutic. Honestly, it sounds crazy, and maybe I am crazy. I probably am, but it's just once you get going and you find a rhythm with it, it's gorgeous. Thank you. I love
it is stunning.
This veil was featured in Brides of North Texas. I partnered with them for the last calendar year, and this was featured in their fall issue. And in their editorial called La Luna, which is more of like a Southwestern kind of edgy vibe. And the veil honestly fit in really well. You wouldn't think lace would, but they made it work.
It is beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, so this is my pastorine veil, and it comes in blush and white. And I actually made this during the snowstorm in Texas last year when I was just kind of cooped up in my apartment, and I was like, I have feathers, I have tulle, I'm going to create because I can't go anywhere. And like wasn't really working. And so this comes in blush and white, and it's
so creative.
Thank you. I've had a couple stores be interested in this one, and that's been really motivating because it was kind of one of those things that I didn't really intend to do. I just kind of did, and I was like, oh, people like this. Okay.
Yeah.
This is my Genevieve veil, and I honestly just love this picture. And this was actually a custom design for my best friend Kate, who got married last March, and she was wanting something that was a little bit cleaner and just sophisticated, and it has this satin ribbon edge or like trim around it, and that's machine stitched, but it goes all the way around the 120-inch veil.
Wow. Now, I mean, does it lay, or is it up like that, or is that just?
We had Mom and I had just thrown this for a picture. Oh. We were just getting artsy, and I just love the way it turned out. But it lays really pretty. It sits in the hair really flat and nice, and then it just the way the veil is, it cascades almost like waterfalls down, and then the trim kind of puddles behind you, and it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes,
so elegant.
This is my Sierra bow. And this was actually another custom for a girl named Sierra that I had gone to high school with, who wanted a bow for her just small courthouse nuptials. And I ended up adding pearls for this editorial that is also for brides of North Texas. And I love the way this bow turned out. I think it's so trendy, but still just really fun. And I have to give the photographer credit, Sammy Catherine Photography in DFW. She took this photo, and she did a wonderful job with the shoot. But what you don't see in this picture actually is the back of this dress. That's not mine, but the dress has points, almost like a back collar, if you will. And it mimics the bow, and it was just a really unique look that came together unexpectedly very well.
Oh, wow. So you had no idea that there were points in the dress?
No idea.
Oh, wow.
I think the photo shoot designer from the magazine, I think maybe she had an idea, but once we all saw it together, all of us, like hairstylists, everybody was like, oh my gosh. And the designer and I chatted about it like on Instagram, and we were like, what? Like, that's so crazy. It's like meant to be. So
yeah, those are like God things, right?
Yeah, totally.
CJ, the beautiful work that you've done here. One thing that I've noticed, we were looking at a number of veils, and I remember my veil was absolutely magnificent. The dress was in my budget, but the veil was way beyond my budget. So I'd love for you to share, for people who have a certain budget for the dress and the veil, they can use the hair bow accessory or the veils to actually take a dress that might be simple and plain and take the whole look to another level.
Absolutely. You can elevate a look that might be on your budget for sure with just a really nice accessory. I think that's just outside of bridal. That's just a rule to live by every day, maybe. But yes, you can definitely do that. And what's really cool about accessories is that you can switch if you maybe make a bigger budget for quality pieces, you can in and out throughout your looks. So like I even mentioned with the belt, putting that on for the reception and kind of creating a whole new look if it goes with your dress and your and then doing like a nice veil or even I have different hair combs, and lots of stores do too, just something that just can change your look and make it look more dynamic and elevated than what the price tag might feel like.
Now, do you sell all of these things on your website?
I do sell them in store or online, and then also looking to get in stores as well, because that's where I think the buying decision, at least I've seen it just be made most of the time for veils. A lot of stores will use veils and other accessories to kind of seal the deal on the dress. If you've ever seen Say Yes the Dress, like Kathy, you mentioned earlier, that I've seen a million times, most girls have, they always put the veil on and say, are you saying the dress? It's like this big moment. And then me as like a business, I'm like, you just seal the deal with a veil? Like, I don't know. I'm like, I hope she likes that veil too. So anyways, just knowing that buying decision is made there is really important for me to get in stores and start doing trunk shows with stores. And so they can, we can build that relationship and build that trust that my products are quality and brides like them and try them out. So that's kind of also my next step. But yes, selling them online as well.
Yeah. Now,
And CJ, sorry,
Go ahead.
CJ, we have the ability to show your website if you'd like me to share that.
Absolutely. Yes, please do.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's take a look. So I'll just page down. Let me know when to stop.
Yeah, I mean, so this is, my homepage. I've got a gallery of different guides, FAQs. If you keep scrolling, testimonials.
Look how pretty. So beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, there's me. Publications and just a small about page. I originally didn't have me anywhere on my Instagram, my website, and I was like, this feels really impersonal, especially as a small business owner. You kind of have to swallow your pride a little and come out from the shadows and be like, no, it's me. This is who I am.
Yeah.
That's a good point, that for business owners to know that you should have your picture on there, because people are looking to connect with someone and who is the person behind it. And there you are.
Right. Yeah. I wanted it to feel like you can trust me. And I've had a couple brides tell me, I trust your expertise. And those have been really affirming words of like, okay, no, people can trust me. I trust me. People can trust me. So, and then actually, JACALYN, if you want to scroll back up to the top, I recently added a really unique feature. You'll see home, shop, and then custom. And custom is a really cool link where brides, if they know they want to do something custom or even just chat with me, they can go fill out a form. And I will get back to them within 3 days and kind of start that conversation and what that looks like. Usually once someone has inquired, I set up a meeting with them via Zoom or even FaceTime sometimes and just talk about their vision and what they want. And then there's kind of a whole process that follows. But I recently added the book tab, if you want to click on that. So I've started doing virtual shopping consultations. I came to the realization that kind of going back to that buying decision, how a lot of that's made in store, there's a huge risk online just buying an accessory, especially for your big day. And I was like, why not have consultation appointments open that brides can book with me? And we'll kind of go over, your whole look and your vision and talk about, what accessories I have that might fit that. And just kind of mitigate that risk and make the bride feel a lot better about her overall look. And even in that conversation, we can decide that custom might be the route for you and kind of start that conversation as well. So just something that I've recently added that I'm very excited about.
Now, let me ask you something, CJ. Okay. So, I mean, I know that when we okay, so let's back up for a second. Okay. So when you first got out of college, you had a job and it wasn't really like the career for your rest of your life. Right. And I remember the conversation about, where I was just like, look, I've been there, done that. And you just got to do this. And, just all the things that we talked about. And so I, being Miss Pushy, I wanted you to just I know. No, I wanted you to just start out at the gates and have all of these different collections for your, for all of your gowns, like a summer, spring and summer, winter and fall. I had all these huge, grandiose ideas. And so then how did you, I mean, so you've gotten down this veil thing, to a science. I mean, clearly you are phenomenal at it now. So is that going to be your forever niche, or, what are your aspirations?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. So yes, I did go to school to learn to make wedding gowns. And kind of going back to my internship when I was learning to make, I just kind of made veils all summer, amongst other things, but really honed in on that craft. I decided that would be a good entryway into this world. Veils have a low overhead and a high margin. And that made sense for me as a business owner to start there and understand the inner workings of maybe owning a business before I just got way in over my head.
Right.
And because I'm always still perfecting my craft as a creative and a business owner. And so it's, you're juggling both. And how can I do that? And so veils made the most sense. And then kind of next steps, I'm looking at creating shorter dresses that would make sense for rehearsal dinners or bridal showers or what have you. And then making my way into that makes sense with my business.
Got it. Well, I know that whatever you touch, it's going to turn to gold. I can just feel it. Oh, it will. And but I'm still holding out for those wedding gowns. I want to renew my vows someday, and I told Joe that, and he just about dropped over dead. he said they took the first time. We don't need to do this.
Yeah.
So I want to wear one of your creations. So I'm holding out for you, CJ.
Thank you, Kathy. It's so funny. I remember that conversation so well where you called me, and that was a low. I mean, not when you called me, but where I was. It was a low when you called me. No. I just remember that so vividly. I think I was 6 months post-grad. I was in a job that I could not have been more miserable. I remember driving to work one day and thinking, is this it? Is this life? Like, Lord, is this really what I had to look for?
This is why they call it work, right?
Yeah. And it was so bad. I was dating a guy I had really no business dating and living in Dallas and wasn't being creative at all. And to just really, seal the deal, COVID just happened. So we were a week into lockdown and I lived by myself and it just got to a point where I wasn't even answering my mom's phone calls and she sent my Aunt Kathy after me. And I knew when I saw your name pop up on my phone, I said, uh-oh.
I must answer this call.
I have to answer this phone call, whatever. And it ended up changing my life, honestly, because you were like, why not start right now? And I was like, I have nothing to lose. I really have nothing to lose. And, we talked over and over about, gowns, collections, fails, what am I doing? And I've told people this, but getting started and just doing something was, the biggest step, I think. If I had waited.
Well, it looks like CJ's frozen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Oh, she's back. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. We still need to take a commercial break anyway. So CJ, when we come back, I'd love to have you finish what you were saying. And then also we showed the website about how people can work with you, but what is that experience like as a client? And we'll walk through that. Okay. So stay with us. We're going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Have you just lost your job or have been laid off and you are looking to transition to a new job or career? Maybe you have even tried submitting tons of applications and yet you keep getting turned down for jobs you qualify for. Don't wait until you become overwhelmed with rejections when you can easily transition or get your dream job. Let MJW Careers guide you to the right career path and a better, brighter future. At MJW Careers, we know what hiring managers are looking for, and our goal is to land you the job you deserve. What makes MJW Careers a wonderful provider over other services is our pragmatic and scientific approach to resume writing. There are rules, there are visual cues, there are content best practices. We understand those and work within the boundaries to ensure our clients' messaging appeals to the decision makers. Our career consultants will help you transition into new roles quickly and effectively. With our experience in virtually every industry, we will provide direction in the frustrating job market by helping you write a customized, professional resume and prepare you for your interview as well. Join the great number of people we have helped scale up to greater things in their careers. Let us help you on your career journey. Come visit us, www.jobstickers.com, to learn more and grab a free resume review or ebook.
Meet the modern learner. Like most of us, the modern learner is short on time, on the go, and wants to learn on their terms and device of choice. The key is to meet them whenever and wherever they may be. The solution? Best-in-class content served up by the Engagement mobile learning platform, where the modern learner is at the center of the learning experience. For example, they can receive a text message that alerts them to a new learning module. They simply tap, watch, read and engage, or play a fun learning game. We transform your content into modules that are timely, accurate, academically rigorous, yet engaging and robust. Personality motivators are blended with modern adult learning principles to make it faster and more natural to absorb the content and have fun while learning. Our cutting-edge platform offers something for everyone. It can be an immersive experience where learners explore and engage based on what's relevant to them in that moment, or they can follow a set curriculum, earning badges and tracking points toward a credit or goal, or they can dive deeper into high-value professional content relating to their topic of interest. It's binge learning at its best. All this, along with an entire portfolio of real-time, usable data and KPIs for stakeholders. Imagine, share up-to-the-minute news, enhance current curriculum, build knowledge banks, drive sales, and foster community in the push of a button. To learn more or see a demo, please contact support@engagement.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV and Video. Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is What's Trending. And joining me is my co-host, Kathy Fulton, and the owner of Christian Joy Bridal, CJ. Welcome back. We're thrilled to have you here. And I think that you were in the middle of saying something when you froze. So if you want to go back to that, that would be great. And we'll talk about the customer experience.
Yes. Well, thanks again for having me on. I think what I was saying mostly was just getting started. I'm so thankful that I had Kathy to guide me and just maybe that's the first I honestly, but just getting started was the key step, and that, like I said, I've probably worked on my aesthetic and website and social media probably 3 different times now, and I'll probably do it 30 more times in the future, but just not waiting until I had, all my ducks in a row to start and just take a leap of faith and be willing to be molded over time and change and pivot. So,
Well, I remember just that conversation. And one of the things that I remember telling you, and that I would like to encourage others, is when you've had enough, you've had enough. Okay. And the other point, and so it's time to move on. That's your gut, that's your uneasiness. I think that's God's way of telling you there's more for you. You're meant for more. But I also remember telling you this, and I remember saying it very emphatically, CJ, stop lining other people's pockets. stop filling their bank accounts. You need to take care of you. And there's never going to be the perfect time to do it. Never, never. Something always, the shoe other drops, and you just have to be quick on your feet and just get your game on and keep going. We all get knocked down, but we all can get back up. And I also remember telling you, don't get hung up. People are going to say, well, what's your business plan? I said, don't even worry about your business plan right now. Okay, so we know who your audience is. Brides, great, check that box. Then second, what's the main goal? You want to make a profit. Check the box. Now let's move on. Start producing, get out there and beat the pavement. And I mean, that I get so passionate about, because I hate for people to feel like they are in something that is less than what they were made for. So I just couldn't be more thrilled that you have had this kind of success. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's still, just really reflecting is like, wow, I have come a ways, and
you have.
This is happening. I don't know. It's like my dream come true. And so it's like, oh, I've just dreamt about this since I was a little girl, and it's happening, and it's not overnight. And I don't even know if I want something that's overnight. I think Anna Wintour said one time, she said, something just basically to the effect of easy come, easy go as a brand. And I was like, I want staying power, and there's always going to be brides. There's always going to be a market for me. And so it's like, okay, I want to build something that's strong and is going to last and is sturdy over time. And I'm okay with, not too slow of a build, but a slow, steady, strong start. So anyways, just happy
That's
to.
exciting.
Yeah. Thank you.
So for all the brides to be out there and mothers of the brides, et cetera, what is that experience like when they reach out to you? What can they expect?
Yeah, so for a custom or even just a virtual shopping consultation, I personally meet with you. We kind of chat honestly like this and talking about, I get to know you, just who you are, your fiance, when you're getting married, what your vision is, where you're at, those kinds of questions. And then, really honing in on your vision. And, sometimes brides don't know at all. And my expertise helps, and sometimes they do. And my expertise still helps. Just to even solidify that plan, or just have, again, an expert kind of affirm you in the decisions you want to make. And so custom for that route, that usually looks like, again, asking those questions, talking about your vision. And then I will send brides within a week, something that I call a custom veil proposal. And that basically goes over, timeline, price that we've discussed, and then usually any designs that we've discussed. And I send that to you, you talk it over. We kind of continue having a discussion on what design or what details of a design that you've chosen. So I've sometimes sent brides, 2 variations of a veil and said, you think on this and we'll talk about it, but here's kind of our discussion packaged, basically. And then once that happens, I just require a $100 down deposit on your Oh, I think I froze again. Did I freeze? Oh, no.
It's probably your Wi-Fi. Don't worry. Keep going.
And then after so that's custom. And then virtual shopping consultations, kind of the same thing. You just book a time slot with me, and, we go over what's in my shop and, what might look best with your gowns, or you kind of ask me questions, just anything you might have. And we decide if something in my store is best for you, or even going the custom route. So, yeah.
And CJ, what's the timeline from when someone contacts you to when they can expect to get the dress, the veil, et cetera?
Yeah, so that's actually something on my FAQ page, if anyone forgets after. The sooner the better. I think production timeline can be anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, but the discussion should start maybe sooner. Just so we have time to kind of get back and forth and really solidify a plan, and that way your back isn't up against a wall. But yeah, I will also work to meet anyone's timelines, and you can rush things, and possibilities are endless.
Now, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you, Dr. JACALYN?
It's okay. Go ahead.
So there's so many supply chain issues right now. Have you had any difficulties in your business getting veil material and just I don't know, thread.
Yeah, honestly. I really haven't. I'm a pretty proactive person and pretty organized. So I kind of foresee things and make sure that I have just a hefty stock and I have what I need in my arsenal, if you will. I have noticed prices have gone up on everything. So like, tool went up 50 cents a yard and I was like, dang.
Yeah.
But that's it really, things are going to happen externally that I can't control, but I'm doing my best to handle that internally and just be as proactive as I can.
Right.
CJ, one thing I'd love for you to comment on. I remember when I was getting married, it was this internal push that I have to lose weight. I've got to get thinner. I've got to lose weight. And then, people go and get measured for the dress. And then it's, they come back. And can you just talk a little bit about just being your authentic self and getting measured for the gown as you are, as opposed to all the pressure that people put on themselves to be different? I know I'm not the only one because my girlfriends were all the same. And what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that is just, I hate that. Honestly, I hate the pressure that we feel. I've felt it every day, not getting married. And I still feel that. And I seeing my best friend get married last March and, thinking back to that, and from the stress of wedding planning and being engaged and life change, you just naturally sometimes lose weight. And I was just like asking her, I'm like, you're not doing this on purpose, are you? And I hate that. I think women should be their true selves and, choose a dress that you feel best in and trust that your family and friends love you and they're not going to lie to you. And that, weight is just a number and how you feel is so much more important, and that your value is so not in anything a scale says or a dress size that is so arbitrary, and your value is so much more and deeper than that and eternal and cannot be moved by a number. So
I love that.
You are so wise beyond your years.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, CJ.
Thank you. Two things I have to tell myself. I'm like telling you, but I'm also really telling me that. So.
Hey, we all go through it, but it really was. It's perfect. You're spot on.
Thank you.
CJ, you shared a lot of wisdom with us today. To Kathy's point, things that really resonate with each and every one of us. It's so important. What would you share with people who are in a corporate role? They want to have their own business, but there are obstacles along the way. They might not have a Kathy in their lives to help direct them and guide them. So
I'll help you.
What wisdom would you share with them based on what you've learned?
It's funny. I don't even know if I've really been in a position to even take a leap of faith, or if God has just molded my life in a way that I've been put in positions where I'm like, okay, well, now I have to, move this way in my business and, moving cities and even now kind of being faced with, where my job is going. And I say just do it. It's hard. I've been in corporate positions where I've had to hide and almost be ashamed of like the fact that I own a business and I'm a creative, and that, makes me mad. It's like, why? Like and I get it because you're working for somebody else, but I think if you're a creative and you're, an entrepreneur, you should follow that. And there are ways to, have an income, and you don't have to be a starving artist, and you can be stable and still chase your dreams. And I think that looks different for everybody, but definitely would encourage anybody to seek that out. I've chosen not to take the starving art method, and again, slow and steady build, but there's, I think the road looks different for everybody, but there is a road out there for you if you find yourself in that position.
Thank you, CJ. And if you would share your contact information and who you'd like to reach out to, especially for people listening on the radio, they can't read the banner.
Oh yeah. So so Christian Joy Bridal is my Instagram. Christian Joy is what CJ stands for, by the way. So it's just at Christian Joy Bridal, and the website is www.christianjoybridal.com. I have 2 new veils coming out in May. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and be on the lookout for that, that would be great.
Yay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Kathy, anything you want to share with CJ before we close out?
Just other than to reiterate, I'm so proud of you. And I know you are just going to build and build and build and build. And I hope you will come back and keep us apprised of everything that's new in Christian Joy Bridal.
Yes, I will. This was so fun. If you'll have me back, I'll definitely be back.
Yeah, come back in May and share the new veils with us. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so
just right
much.
around the corner.
I know. It's quickly approaching.
No pressure, right?
Right. Right.
Well, thank you again, CJ. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you next month, hopefully.
Thank you so much. I've had so much fun. So thanks again, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
CJ.
All right, bye.
She's a delight and so full of life, so much energy and passion, and yet so much wisdom.
I know. She's just always been wise beyond her years. I think, I don't know. She's always, even when she was little, spoken like an adult. Maybe that's because she was around so many adults all the time. I don't know, but she's just, I just love her to pieces, and I'm just so excited about her success. And I'm so thrilled that she decided to just take the leap, because it's never perfect. There's never a perfect time. You never have enough money in the bank. You can never look so far ahead and see, well, we may have this trouble or that problem or this issue. You just have to go, and you just have to show up and do it. And that's what she's done. And but I'm still holding out for the custom dresses, the custom bridal dresses.
And also something else to share with our audience is that when you make this leap, you may not have the support of people around you. People may question what you're doing. They may tell, like Kathy, what the situation you had, and you have to just keep moving forward. If your intuition, if your gut tells you this is your calling, it's your calling. It's not somebody else's. And there definitely will be people who want to hold you back, because when people start to bloom, other people start to shrivel, and we want to just be with the bloomers. So, Kathy, I'm going to spotlight you because your show is coming up. So we have to wrap up this show to go over to Talking Heads. Who would you like to reach out to, Kathy, and how can you help them?
Well, I have had my interior design firm for 22 years. It's hard to believe. So anyone that is looking for, could be remodeling your entire house. It could be remodeling one room. Perhaps you're wanting to redo your kitchen or redo bathrooms. We pretty much do anything that is relative to the interior of your home. So even if you think that it's too small of a project, in my opinion, there's no job that's too small. So I would love to help you.
And you can go anywhere, right, Kathy? You travel the world.
I will travel the world. And if travel is a problem, thank goodness for Zoom, FaceTime, so we can find a way to make it work.
Fantastic. And the best way to contact you is?
Well, call me on my phone, 703-895-3798, or you can always email me at Kathy Fulton, and that's Kathy with a C, kathyfulton1965@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, we're going to close out this show so we can go over to Talking Heads. What will you be sharing today in your 30-minute show?
It's all about organizing your kitchen. And I have, 45 or 50 different accessories that will take you from clutter-free, or from clutter to clutter-free. So
I love that. I love organization and structure. It's fabulous.
I do too. It helps keep me focused.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let you go get ready for that as I close out the show.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. And for those who are listening, I want to put up our information. Our live stream can be heard on the MyTuner radio app, and also on the website, mytuner-radio.com, and also on Business Talk Radio. There's a third radio platform that you can listen. Let me just see, my engineer sent me the information, online radio box. So I'll be sharing that. So the way it works is when we're live, our live shows are actually streaming on the radio. And when we're not live, our shows from any other time that we've been broadcasting will be played. So all the shows get replayed. So when you're a guest, not only are your shows available on our television platforms, but they're also available on our radio platforms. If you'd like to be a guest, you can go over to our website, which is usaglobaltv.com. book your session. Okay, as I mentioned, we are going to be coming right back with Talking Heads, and Kathy Fulton will be sharing, as she just mentioned, how to get your kitchen uncluttered. Don't we all need this? So please do stay wherever you are. I'll run over to the other studio, and I look forward to seeing you all in just about 9 minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye.